In this video, I'm going to talk about Leo Moon, Natal Moon in Leo, at least until the battery on my camera runs out. Just got our new couch came. We're slowly moving into a new apartment. Got a nice, really big, comfy couch yesterday, which is great because it felt like we were pretty much camping in our empty apartment up until that. So we're progressing. But let's get into the video. Leo Moon. Leo is ruled by the sun. Leo naturally sits on the 5th house. Leo is all about the expression of our individuality. It's a fire house. The first fire house, Aries, it's all about more spontaneous expression of our identity. It's our assertion of our identity, of our will. When we get to the Leo house, the second fire house, it's more about creation. It's about creation, not necessarily validation, but creation, expression. It's our individuality that demands somewhat of a witness, or wants a witness, or wants a stage, wants to perform. When this energy is in the moon position, moon is our instinctual reaction to things. It's our learned behavior. It's our conditioned personality that we don't think about. It just naturally comes out. So Leo here is someone that definitely wants, I wouldn't say they want attention, that's just doesn't really scratch the surface, but they feel familiar when they can take up roles where they can be recognized for their talents, for their leadership. It doesn't necessarily have to be creative expression. It doesn't mean like all these folks are like theater people or are necessarily super extroverted, but it's important for them ultimately, in order to feel emotionally fulfilled, to find ways for them to get in touch with who they are and what they want and what inspires them, but also to be able to really share that and be recognized for that. And so that's really important for them in relationships. It's important for them in their career, in their friendships. When things are really warm and when they're feeling light and spontaneous and fun, things are incredible. Like they just totally help cultivate a vibe. It could just be an ordinary day of going to get lunch or whatever, having a beer with a friend, but the narrative that a Leo moon will bring to it, the energy they'll bring to it, it just seems so much more epic. It's like not just lunch. It's like, no, we're gonna go to lunch and I'm gonna call these people and we're gonna get the beers and we're gonna like, it's like it depends on the rest of the person's chart, but there's just this energy into like cultivating each experience of their life is almost like a presentation, right? As if outside of this individual experience and the people involved in it, if people could observe it, they would think, oh, that's an awesome experience. There's a performative aspect to how they want to create experience in their life, even if it's not related to the people involved. Like they just want to seem epic. Certainly in relationships, a Leo moon person will want a lot of attention, a lot of loyalty, a lot of devotion. A Leo moon is not going to do well with a partner that wants a lot of freedom or independence, both like physically or emotionally. A Leo will want their partner to have like their location tracking turned on their phone. And it's not even necessarily like in a toxic or controlling way, but just because the Leo wants to be really protective and wants to feel close. And so if the partner was like, oh, that's weird, I'm really uncomfortable with that, that's the kind of stuff where Leo's like, oh, why? Or why do you want to be distant? Or if a Leo is like, hey, how are you? Normal texts, they don't react well with someone who's like, would just forget about the text and text them back hours and hours later. Again, it depends on, everyone has what their needs and wants are in a relationship, and nothing is, none of that is inherently good or bad. I'm just saying a Leo wants, doesn't do well being ignored, right? And this can be normal stuff in a relationship, but also when things are not going well, or you're in a dating phase and you're not sure about the commitment level of another person, like a Leo is going to react so viscerally, the real fire sign nature of the Leo moon will come out when they feel like they are being ignored or rejected. They just their flame can be totally extinguished, and they can go from being the biggest hype person and the most positive and loving and excited to the most deflated and depressed if they feel ignored. If you have Leo Moon friends or a Leo Moon partner, don't ignore them. It's really deflating. Even if it's not intentionally ignoring them, like, don't forget about them. Don't take it for granted. The other thing to keep in mind with Leo Moons is that they want to really be appreciated for the things that they do well. So it's not just, hey, I like you, or good job, but if they get specific recognition for something that they like worked really hard on, or a specific thing they did, hey, I really, if their boss is like, hey, I really liked the work that you did on X project, right? I could tell that took a lot of cross-functional effort, and I could tell that there was a lot of, that was a new area for you, and that, you pushed outside your comfort zone. And I think you really like that kind of like very specific feedback. Like, God, that's just, those are putting both logs and lighter fluid in the kind of soul fire of a Leo Moon person. And the same thing is true in the context of relationships. It's not just, hey, I love you, you're great. It's, hey, like, you consistently show up in those moments when I'm not at my best to try to make things better. Like, I really appreciated last Thursday when I was super sad because I stubbed my toe and it was bleeding, and then my boss sent me an email at 5:30, and I'm usually off work then. You like ordered me Taco Bell or whatever and rubbed my feet. And I like that specific call out of what Leo does is incredible. And it's not like Leo does it because they need the recognition for it. Like, they want to do that, but they want to do it for a person that's worthy and also recognizes the value of that. I would say that, like any placement, right, there's not even positive and negatives. There's evolved expression of the energy versus unevolved. And so anytime you have afflicted Leo energy in any spot in the chart, or immature or toxic expression of Leo energy, it will often come out as a selfishness, a self-centeredness, almost like a narcissism, not in necessarily like a clinical sense, small n narcissism. And it's not so much like a selfishness. I feel like we, make that word a pejorative because it's good to have healthy selfishness. I'm saying more like self-centeredness, where they are so subsumed in their own emotional phenomena that it is hard for them to objectively step outside of it. It's like they're a fish in their own ocean, and they're so locked in that they can't see things clearly. And this can be an issue for any fire sign, but definitely for Leo Moon. It's really important for a Leo Moon person, if you're watching this, to make sure that you are mindful sometimes and you take a step back. Like, you can be so energetic and you can get so comfortable when you're in your sweet spot, like being the main character, and you kind of expect that everyone is experiencing the situation and enjoying it as much when you feel at your best. But sometimes take a step back, appraise, make sure that other people are involved, and understand that people and experiences in your life aren't just the set pieces and the other characters in your life. You are a part of theirs as well. You're all contributing to one collective experience. All right, that's all for now. Short and sweet video. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.